Woman fires shot during fight at Chuck E. Cheese in Brandon. Deputies say. WFLA. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office responded to an incident at the Chuck E. Cheese in Brandon on Saturday. Brandon. FLA. WFLA. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office responded to an incident at the Chuck E. Cheese in Brandon on Saturday. According to a release from the Sheriff's Office. Deputies Res. +2293 Chars. Global Citizen Festival 2022. Metallica. Mariah Carey. Usher. And more. Global Citizen. Null. Your browser isn't supported anymore. Update it to get the best YouTube experience and our latest features. Learn more. Remind me later. Italians vote in election that could take far-right to power. The Associated Press. Rome. App. Italians were voting on Sunday in an election that could move the country's politics sharply toward the right during a critical time for Europe. With war in Ukraine fueling skyrocketing energy bills and testing the West's resolve to stand united. Rome. App. Italians were voting on Sunday in an election that could move the country's politics sharply toward the right during a critical time for Europe. With war in Ukraine fueling skyrocketing ENA. +4230 Chars. Explaining the most baffling quirk of COVID. Common gene variant linked to mortality. SciTech Daily. It may be the most baffling quirk of COVID. While some infected individuals only have minor flu-like symptoms, in others COVID-19 can spiral into severe disease, disability, and even death. A new research paper published on September 21 in the journal Nature. By Rockefeller University September 24, 2022. New research may explain why some people with COVID-19 only experience minor flu-like symptoms and others have severe disease that can result in death. +9153 Chars. Innovative MIT passive cooling system works without electricity. SciTech Daily. Relying on evaporation and radiation, but not electricity. The MIT passive cooling system could keep food fresh longer or supplement air conditioning in buildings. The use of power-hungry air conditioning systems is projected to increase significantly as Th. By David L. Chandler. Massachusetts Institute of Technology September 24, 2022. 2 samples of passive cooling devices were tested on the roof of MIT's Building 1, on the left. A sample of the new Sister. +9792 Chars. Number 18 Huskies overwhelm Stanford in 40-22 rout to stay undefeated. The Seattle Times. Null. Extreme overclocking the AMD R97950X CPU to 6.45 GHz. Gamers Nexus. Sponsor. Get 10% off Squarespace purchases. https://geni.us/beekeep. We joined AMD to film the company's world record attempt and victory with the new AMD Rise. Null. Investors fleeing company that plans to merge with Trump's Truth Social. Take it public. HuffPost. Digital World Acquisition Corp. loses $139 million in investment commitments in the latest trouble for Trump's social media platform. According to an SEC filing. There's more bad news for the company that's supposed to merge with Donald Trump's Truth Social too. take it public. Investors are beginning to jump ship. Digital World Acquisition Corp. The Special Perp. Plus 2766 Chars. Post Malone hospitalized. Cancels Boston show just a week after nasty stage fall. Page 6. The show isn't going on for Post Malone, who cancelled his planned Boston concert an hour before it was supposed to begin just a week after falling through the stage at a concert. The show isn't going on for Post Malone, who cancelled his planned Boston concert an hour before it was supposed to begin and was hospitalized just a week after taking a nasty spill on stage. Im Havi. Plus 1075 Chars. Lapid told UN majority of Israelis back two-state solution. But poll shows otherwise. The Times of Israel. Survey says only 31% of Jewish Israelis think NextGov should push for such a peace deal with the Palestinians, with nearly 60% opposed. Support far higher among Arab Israelis. A new poll released Saturday found that a majority of Jewish Israelis are opposed to advancing a two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians, at least in the near term. On Thursday, Prime. Plus 1883 Chars. COVID-19 associated with increase in new diagnoses of type 1 diabetes in youth. By as much as 72%. Neuroscience News. Children who contracted COVID-19 are at increased risk of being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Researchers found a 72% increase in new type 1 diabetes cases in those under 18 who contracted COVID-19. Summary. Children who contracted COVID-19 are at increased risk of being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Researchers found a 72% increase in new type 1 diabetes cases in those under 18 who contracted. Plus 4889 Chars. NASA delays Artemis 1 moon rocket launch again as Tropical Storm Ian looms. The Guardian. Third delay in the past month for test flight as technical issues and weather hamper U.S. effort to return to the Moon after 5 decades. NASA third delay in the past month for test flight as technical issues and weather hamper U.S. effort to return to the Moon after 5 decades. Sunday, 25 September 2022 2:40 British Summer Time. NASA is skipping Tuesday's launch. Plus 2327 Chars. Video Floyd Mayweather stops Mikuru Asakura at end of second round in Super Rizin main event. MMA. Fighting. Floyd Mayweather stopped Mikuru Asakura in Super Rizin's headliner and thanked a cageside Manny Pacquiao. Null. Looks like a new Guilty Gear Strive or DNF Duel announcement is coming this weekend. Event hubs. Things have been somewhat quiet on the front of Arc System Works since EVO 2022 last month. But it appears that is about to change very soon. CEO Taku 2022 tournament organizer, Alex Jebailey is now teasing what looks to be. Things have been somewhat quiet on the front of Arc System Works since EVO 2022 last month. But it appears that is about to change very soon. CEO Taku 2022 tournament organizer, Alex Jebailey is now T. Plus 1605 Chars. Royal family shares photo of Queen Elizabeth II's final resting place in Windsor Chapel. CBS News. Queen Elizabeth II is interred in the King George VI Memorial Chapel, which is in St George's Chapel in Windsor. Britain's royal family shared a photo on Saturday of the ledger stone marking the final resting place of Queen Elizabeth II, who died 2 weeks ago at the age of 96. She is interred in the King George Plus 1506 Chars. QAnon follower who chased officer on January 6 convicted of felonies, The Guardian US. Douglas Jensen could face more than 50 years in prison after federal jury found him guilty. A QAnon conspiracy theorist who led a pack of Donald Trump supporters that chased a solitary police officer around the U.S. Capitol on the day of the January 6 attack has been found guilty of several F+3555 Chars. NJ reports 2,189 COVID cases. 9 deaths. Number of daily positive tests up from last month. NJ.com. The state's 7-day average for confirmed coronavirus positive tests is 1,813. A 23% increase from a week ago and a 4% increase from a month ago. New Jersey on Saturday reported another 2,189 confirmed COVID-19 cases and 9 confirmed deaths as the number of positive tests rose over last month. The state's 7-day average for confirmed coro plus 3326 Chars. SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket seen soaring over Hampton Roads Saturday. Wavy.com. Those across Hampton Roads and North Carolina who might have seen a tiny white spot flying across the sky Saturday night got to see SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket. Hampton Roads. VA. Wavy. People across Hampton Roads and North Carolina who might have caught a glimpse of a tiny bright spot flying across the sky Saturday night got to see SpaceX's Falcon 9 rock. Plus 345 Chars. Los Angeles Chargers QB Justin Herbert. Ribs. Expected to decide on pain-killing shot during Sunday pre-game warm-ups. Sources say. ESPN. QB Justin Herbert is expected to decide during warm-ups if he'll take a pain-killing injection in his fractured rib cartilage to try and play against the Jaguars. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Los Angeles Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert is expected to make a decision during pregame warm-ups on Sunday about whether to take a pain-killing injection in his fractured rib cartilage to try a plus 1086 Chars. GOG's end of summer sale has discounts on some classic games. Rock Paper Shotgun. GOG's end of summer sale is underway. And there are deep discounts on some fantastic games, and you're bound not to have played all of them. Sales are 10 a penny these days. But GOG's end of summer sale contains several stone cold classics. I'm looking at the list and there's bound to be something on here that you always meant to get. Row. Plus 1021 Chars. Caltrain debuts its new electric train fleet in San Francisco. SFGATE. Caltrain is set to electrify the corridor by 2024. A lime green line at the foot of the doorway starts the tour into the all-new Caltrain electric fleet. Caltrain has run in the Bay Area since 1863 and prides itself as the oldest continually operating plus 5149 Chars. New book reveals palace staff's nasty name for Meghan Markle. New York Post. The book details the alleged ugly behavior by Meghan and husband, Prince Harry, who quit their royal duties in 2020. Meghan Markle was a narcissistic sociopath, who was plotting her royal exit from the outset. Her former staff contended in a bombshell new book. Sources told author Valentine Lowe, who wrote Corti plus 995 Chars. Biden struggles, as does his party, as most Democrats look elsewhere for 2024. Poll. ABC News. The economy and inflation are among the top issues heading into the midterms. With his party struggling in the midterms, his economic stewardship under fire and his overall job approval under 40%. A clear majority of Democrats in the latest ABC News, Washington Post poll say th. Plus 9848 Chars. Breath training may help reduce blood pressure by serving as a dumbbell for the diaphragm. New study, Fox News. A study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that a daily dose for 6 weeks of high-resistance inspiratory muscle strength training can reduce blood pressure. Here's what it means for health. Strength training isn't just for biceps. It may also provide support for the muscles that help us breathe to reduce blood pressure. A daily dose for 6 weeks of high-resistance inspiratory muscle S. Plus 8455 Chars. Highlights. San Jose Earthquakes vs. LA Galaxy, September 24, 2022 Major League Soccer. Highlights. San Jose Earthquakes vs. LA Galaxy, September 24, 2022. Subscribe to our channel for more soccer content. http://youtube.com/subscription_center. @_us. null. Aphex Twin releases sample matching app, Stereogum. Last we heard from Aphex Twin. Richard D. James released 6 songs on SoundCloud in 2020. Those followed 2014's excellent comeback effort, SYRO. Today, Warp Records has announced a new free sound Des. Plus 724 Chars.